It's a blistering hot August evening here at Wrigley Field. Young Cub fans getting ready to head back to school, grabbing a free Cubs backpack on their way into the ballpark. We're set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Game 3 of a 4-game series against the wild card leading Atlanta Braves. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. The Cubs have dropped their last 3 in a row, and in this series they've lost the first 2 games, but Bob, they have had golden opportunities galore.
More opportunities than you can believe in this series, Len. They've actually hit the ball very well. It really comes down to a matter of pitch selection when you have those chances to drive in runs. Carlos Pena chased some bad pitches earlier in that at bat. Marlon Byrd swings at a fastball up and out of the zone. Patience is part of it, but even more importantly is pitch selection, because the Cubs have drawn 7 walks in the first 2 games of this series to go along with the 19 base hits, but they've chased a lot of bad pitches in key situations.
Got a couple of sinker ballers on the mound tonight. They'll try to keep the ball down because the wind's blowing straight out. Derek Lowe has had a down year for the Braves and has not beaten a team from the NL Central.
Yeah, and more recently, Fredi Gonzalez has taken to pulling the plug on Derek Lowe early in the ballgame if he happens to have a lead. Last time out, went only 5 innings, gave up 4 hits in a shutout, but came out of the ballgame in favor of the bullpen.
And for Randy Wells, he's had a little bit better second half than he did in the first, but still giving up too many home runs.
Yeah, last time out, he was pretty good against the Cardinals, only gave up 4 base hits. Unfortunately, 2 of those were home runs.
Braves, one of the hottest teams in baseball. They've won 6 in a row. They have a whopping 9.5 game lead in the National League wild card. Should be a great night for baseball tonight here from Wrigley Field as the Cubs host the Atlanta Braves in Game 3. Next.
Brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years of being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular footlong subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T Uverse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates.
There's a wonderful new statue of Cubs legend Ron Santo joining Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, and Harry Carey around the ballpark. And now Fredi Gonzalez and Atlanta Braves lineups brought to you by Southwest. Michael Bourne will lead it off. He's in center. Martin Prado is in left. Brian McCann, the catcher. Dan UGGLA at second. You have Freeman at first. Chipper Jones at third. Jason Hayward. Huge numbers here at Wrigley Field. Alex Gonzalez is going to hit 8th with Lowe 9th.
And let's take a look at the Cubs defensively tonight, brought to you by Degree. It'll be Soriano, Tony Campana, and Tyler Colvin across the outfield, left to right. Ramirez and Castro once again on the left side of the infield. Darwin, Barney, and Carlos Pena once again on the right side. Giovanni Soto doing the catching tonight for our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher, right-hander Randy Wells. Trying to jump above 500 on the record for the season, hopefully lower that ERA in the process. We mentioned his last time out against the Cardinals. Ultimately, it was a 10-inning 5-4 Cubs victory. He went 7 innings in that game, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs. Struck out 5 and walked 3 batters, and as we mentioned before, a couple of home runs surrendered in that game.
As we look at the umpires, Tennessee resident DJ Rayburn will call balls and strikes. Marty Foster, Bill Welke, and the crew chief Jeff Nelson will man the bases.
Boy, and the way the wind is blowing tonight, Len, you really get the feeling that it's going to be key to control Brian McCann, Freddie Freeman, and Jason Hayward, the 3 power left-handed bats in this Braves lineup, because that wind has been howling out to right field throughout the afternoon.
It was a laser show during batting practice. Players on both teams were hitting them way back in the bleachers, if not totally over them. So it's Randy Wells against Michael Bourne, and he swings at the first pitch and hits it foul, and we're underway. Good numbers for Bourne here at Wrigley Field. Bourne has hit in his last 8 in a row, but just 2 for 9 in this series. Swing and a miss on a changeup. 1-2. 86 degrees, but it feels hotter than that. It's very humid and the wind blowing out of the northwest. So a little bit of a crosswind action at 14 miles an hour as Bourne whiffs for out number 1.
Take a look at our Corona Extra pitch tracks. Real good changeup that time by Randy Wells. More movement than we've seen on his changeup in past starts. It's Michael Bourne not only way out in front, but way over the top of that sinking changeup.
And now the left fielder Martin PRADO. Wells 3-1 lifetime against the Braves and beat them at Turner Field 11 days ago. 8-4 decision. Right at the plate. 1-1 the count. Atlanta shut out the Cubs 3-0 Monday, and kind of a weird ball game last night. Each team put up one big inning. The Braves a 5-run 4th, the Cubs a 4-run 5th. That was it.
Boy, in this series, the Cubs pitching has actually done a really good job against the top of the Braves order. They've held Michael Bourne in check somewhat. Only a couple of base hits in this series, and Martin PRADO still looking for his first hit in this series, but unfortunately the guys in the middle have been swinging it pretty good.
Slider is in the dirt. 3-1 with Brian McCann on deck. Summer's still here, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah. A little relief as that sun is sinking away to the west.
He pops it up over near first base. Carlos Pena, whose name is in the news today, reportedly claimed off waivers by the Yankees. But all the reports I have read say that the Cubs probably would not let him go. Two down. Here's McCann.
Well, it wouldn't be out of the question to work out some kind of a deal with the Yankees, get a player in return for Carlos Pena, and then turn around and re-sign him for next year as a free agent if you felt he was part of the Cubs' future. It's that time of year the Yankees are starting to tweak their roster to get ready for the playoffs, and a position where they didn't have enough all-stars, so possibly looking for a left-handed platoon DH. Jorge Posada has been up and down this year with the Yankees, filling that DH spot most of the time.
And he would potentially back up Mark Teixeira at first, which would mean he'd never play. There's a broken bat bouncer right to the aforementioned Carlos Pena, who's a Cub for now. I think he'd like to be here the rest of the way. They go 1-2-3, and the Cubs are coming up against Derek Lowe. Second base, the weather kind of matching Aramis Ramirez. Look at that, 11 for his last 14. Pena, Colvin, Soriano in the middle. Tony Campana gets the nod in center for Marlon Byrd, and the battery is Soto and Wells.
And let's take a look at Fredi Gonzalez Braves defensively tonight. Martin Prado, Michael Bourne, and Jason Hayward across the outfield left to right. Chipper Jones and Alex Gonzalez on the left side of the infield. Dan UGGLA and Freddie Freeman on the right side. Perennial all-star Brian McCann behind the plate tonight for veteran right-hander Derek Lowe. Lowe, notorious sinker ball, ground ball pitcher, although he has thrown fewer sinkers and a lot more sliders this year than he ever has at any point in his career.
There's the sinker for a strike to Castro. Derek Lowe is 38 years old. He's been very durable in his career. Never on the disabled list.
Boy, and when you face Derek Lowe or a pitcher like Derek Lowe, you have to try to tell yourself, make him get the ball up. That sinker ball just down, down, down with downward movement. That time a slider off the plate away, but you really have to make a concerted effort to tell yourself to make him get the ball up. If it's in the middle of the thighs, it's going to end up low out of the strike zone.
Castro got back in the lineup after sitting out Monday and went 1 for 5 last night. And that will hold up for Jason Hayward, who makes a waist high grab for the out. His double play partner Darwin Barney. Get some guys on base in front of Aramis Ramirez.
Please.
Well, Barney with 16 hits over his last 10 games. I don't know what your experience was when you would go 11 for 14. But I asked Aramis if his teammates are treating him any differently. He said, no, not really. As Lowe makes a nice play off the mound and slings it to Freeman in time. I said, are guys just asking you what's your secret and hope some of it rubs off on them? He said, no, I don't really change much. And I don't know, maybe some guys are a little superstitious. They don't want to mess him up by talking too much to him about it.
Well, and you don't want him thinking too much about it either. I mean, ball players know that when you get in a hot streak like Ramirez is in right now, the last thing in the world you want to do is analyze it. Just enjoy it.
But along those lines, if you are a Cubs position player, are you not watching everything he's doing right now to try to figure out why he is as hot as he is? Or do guys mainly look at themselves and say, I got to do what I got to do?
Well, very few guys hit like Aramis Ramirez to begin with. A very unusual approach, a very aggressive approach. But I guess the best thing you could say about him is he's a bad ball hitter that gets the barrel on bad pitches. He has been hyper aggressive this season, swinging at that first pitch. 12 first pitch homers this year, leading the major leagues. Just as hot as he can be right now.
Swinging away 3-0 and hits it foul. I asked Freddie Gonzalez, okay, what do you do tonight? And he laughed. He said, I don't know. Tell him what's coming.
That might work. You know, you get him thinking, and that's half the battle. If you can get a hitter guessing along with the pitcher or thinking, well, they came in, now they're going to go away. They threw me off speed. Now they're going to come back with a fastball. If you get a hitter thinking along those lines, you got a better chance of getting him out.
That's probably what you'll see a lot of as he walks. Well, I think what the Cubs need is guys around him to heat up as well, and that'll force a guy like Derek Lowe to throw him something in the zone.
You can see from our Corona extra pitch tracks, everything down out of the strike zone with that downward movement. He's trying to get a ground ball.
Now Pena with Ramirez at first. They overshift on the infield, and a swing and a miss on a changeup. Pena's faced Lowe a lot. 20 previous at bats. He's hit .350 against him. Still looking for his first home run.
Now, Lowe's only surrendered 9 bombs in over 150 innings this year, as you might expect with that sinker ball. Very tough to elevate that pitch unless he makes a mistake up in the zone.
Back-to-back changeups. Would he triple up on that pitch in this spot?
There used to be an old adage in the game, you never throw the same pitch 3 times in a row, but I don't think that applies anymore, especially if you've got a good changeup or a good split finger, or in case of Carlos Marmol, a good slider. Why not throw it 3 times in a row?
He just did, and he got him. 3 good changeups from Lowe to get Pena. He walks 1, but keeps the Cubs off the board.
Barney had some issues with a ground ball up the middle of the field, juggled it a couple times, ultimately found the handle, shoveled on to Castro, who wasn't on the base, but able to get a foot on just ahead of Chipper Jones, who had just stopped running halfway between first and second, allowing the Cubs to get that force out. But then they turned a gem. Starlin Castro with a great diving play on to Darwin Barney, who completed that double killing right there. Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Standing with Darwin Barney and Pat Listash talking about that first play as Dan UGGLA swings away and fouls back. If Darwin had a chance to do it again, Bob, he would have gone from glove to glove. He just would have backhanded and flipped it out of his glove. But he did not see Castro at the bag out of his peripheral vision. And Pat said, you know what? Assume he's going to be there. And he was. And if he had done that, they would have had a double play on that first ball. He said, you could put it right on the bag. That shortstop's supposed to be there.
Yeah. And it was Eric Hinsky, the hitter, who put that ball in play. They would have had plenty of time to turn the double play had they been able to handle it cleanly, but they came back on the next ground ball and did it perfectly.
0-2 on UGGLA. Called strike 3 on a fastball.
Good command early from Randy Wells on our Corona Extra pitch tracks. That comeback sinker, that was an effective pitch for Casey Coleman early in the ball game last night. A good one there from Randy Wells. Brief snowstorm here at the ballpark, but it's passed.
It's back. All right. Freeze Cam got to us. 1 strike to Freddie Freeman.
Early on, it's apparent that that's going to be a good pitch for Randy Wells tonight against the lefties in this Braves lineup. Believe me, they see those flags blowing out to right field. Freddie Freeman is no dummy. He's looking for something he can hit in the air to right field, and jumped out in front of that changeup.
Comes back with a fastball inside, 1-2. This will be Randy's final start as a 28-year-old. 4 days from now, he'll turn 29. Popped up. And it's Ramirez. 2 down. Follow all of tonight's stats and info in real time with Cubs in-game live only at csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Honda. Future Hall of Famer Chipper Jones. Ball 1.
I neglected to include Chipper when I was talking about the left-handed power hitters in this Braves lineup. I don't think you have to point out Chipper Jones. It doesn't matter which direction the wind's blowing, which side of the plate he's hitting from. You always have to keep an eye out for Chipper Jones' spot in that lineup.
He is 1 homer away from tying Jeff Bagwell on the all-time list. Chipper currently ranking 35th with 448. Bagwell with 449. Changeup, 2-1. Two and two. Here's the pitch outside. I want to go back to those rankings among active players, Bob. I don't know who's 1 and 2 in those 3, but I'm going to guess Jim Thome and A-Rod are probably the 2. Would that be a good guess?
Oh, yeah.
In all 3 categories, I'm going to guess. It's easy to find out. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a changeup. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings to start it for Randy Wells. GMC Sportsnet Central. Coming up after post-game live, Kip Lewis reports on the Bears' first practice from Hallis Hall. Join Luke and Pat for GMC Sportsnet Central after post-game live, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Tyler Colvin will lead it off for the Cubs here in the bottom of the second. Lowe gets the sign from McCann. That right there, Bob, that's the pitch when Derek Lowe is on. It's as good a sinker as there is in baseball.
Occasionally a sinker ball pitcher will alter his arm angle just a little bit, or even the tilt on his wrist ever so slightly, and cause that sinker to flatten out. But when Derek Lee gets that arm in a good slot, he is as consistent with that sinker as anybody in baseball.
And like Randy Wells, we've seen a lot of changeups from Lowe early on in this game. It's a tough one to lay off with 2 strikes. 1-2.
I felt like going in, this would be a good matchup tonight for Tyler Colvin. He's 2 for 3 lifetime against Derek Lowe, but when he's gotten into trouble lately, it's chasing breaking balls in the dirt and fastballs up out of the strike zone. Derek Lowe rarely goes up above the belt with a heater.
Two and 2 to Colvin, Soriano and Campana to follow. Giovanni Soto, if anybody should reach. And now he's run it full, 3-2. Gets by everybody for ball 4.
Good bat that time by Tyler Colvin. Derek Lowe was just bound determined he was going to keep that ball away from Colvin, try to get him to pull it to the right side, and Tyler chased a couple of them, but ultimately laid off. Draws the leadoff walk.
Bunch of finals from earlier today we'll get to throughout the evening. Are you sitting for this?
Bring it on.
Milwaukee lost today.
Get out.
2-0 at Pittsburgh, but they've still won 24 of their last 29. Still a pretty good road trip for the Brewers. The Cardinals swept at home by the Dodgers, so they're still 10 out. And the Reds are playing a preemptive doubleheader. There's a drive to deep center. Michael Bourne will watch it go on top of the batter's eye. A 2-run homer for Soriano. Number 22. He's homered in back-to-back games, and the Cubs have the early lead.
Boy, would it be good to see him heat up and get in one of his streaks where he's homering on almost a daily basis. You would assume Soriano would have good numbers against Lowe because he's such a good low ball hitter. That was not the case, however. Soriano only a .226 lifetime hitter against Derek Lowe, but he crushes that one to straightaway center.
336th of his career. And now Tony Campana shows bunt, takes Ball 2 outside. Still nobody out. Leadoff walk and a 2-run homer. Yeah, Reds and Marlins were going to play a single game tonight and then another one tomorrow, but because of the impending hurricane that at the very least appears to is going to be dropping a lot of rain on South Florida, they decided to play a doubleheader today instead. Dan UGGLA bobbles. That's it. Campana reaches. You've got one shot on a ground ball. That'll be an error on UGGLA. Kind of a similar play to the one we saw over the weekend with Ryan Terrio.
It looked like UGGLA just got badly out of rhythm as he charged that slowly hit ball. He knew he had to rush because of Tony Campana's speed and never got a handle on the baseball. Any mishandling whatsoever, and it's going to be too late.
And he takes off. And he is safe. He's only been caught one time.
Boy, what a weapon. It seems funny to say about a guy that's about 4'12", but when he gets on base, he is nearly impossible to stop on the bases. And he doesn't always get the greatest jump at first base, but he has such quick acceleration, such tremendous top end speed that he just outruns the throw from the catcher.
Strike to Soto, 1-1. That's the 82nd stolen base allowed, with Brian McCann in the game, the most among all major league catchers. And again, Campana 17 out of 18. Like he wanted to go to third, decided to hold up as Soto missed on a slider. Done that 3 other times. Inside, 2-2.
At worst, you'd like to see a productive out here from Giovanni Soto. Find a way to get Tony Campana over to third base with 1 out in the inning. Either a ground ball to the right side, a deep fly ball. Somehow set it up.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him on a slider. It's his second punch out of the night. Don't miss the action as the Cubs host the Braves tomorrow here at Wrigley Field at 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans get a Cubs hat, compliments of cannon. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Brandon Beachy and Matt Garza tomorrow afternoon. And the Cubs hit the road for a very difficult trip at Milwaukee and at San Francisco.
The Giants are due to get Carlos Beltran back.
I think he
tonight.
has been activated. It's outside to Randy Wells, 1-1.
Saw Randy pull the bat back that time, was ready to take a hack if the pitch was in the strike zone. Most teams give the hitter that liberty. If he feels like those corner infielders are charging to a point where he can't get a bunt down, pull the bat back and take a hack at it.
A balk has been called on Derek Lowe. Call made, I believe, by Bill Welke at second base.
Seconded by Randy Wells at home plate. He took his hands off the bat and pointed out to Derek Lowe. He saw it right away. Just a little too much movement there. The upper body bent over ever so slightly. The glove moved ever so slightly. And then he stopped again before delivering the pitch to home plate.
With Campana's speed here, Bob, you kind of feel like if Randy Wells gets a bunt in play, there's no way they can get him at the plate. But we'll see. And he swings and hits a little bouncer, and that'll work. Wells tagged out by Dan UGGLA. Campana scores easily. It's 3-0.
That'd be one of the ugliest RBIs you ever see. A jam shot, one hopper to the right side, but by the time UGGLA gets to the baseball, Tony Campana, who looked like he was coming down that line in a possible squeeze attempt. I wonder if there was a sign missed there, but ultimately the result is good. The Cubs tack on another run.
And in a way, the fact that he cracked his bat kind of slowed that one hopper down a little bit. If it hadn't broken, he might have lined out to Dan UGGLA. Campana would still be at third. Yeah, I agree. Tony really came flying down the line.
A little discussion going on over there between Pat Listash, the bench coach. Coy Hill was involved along with Randy Wells. It almost looked like somebody missed a sign there.
What's the cliche? All's well that ends well.
That's
3-0.
That's the element that Tony Campana brings to a ball game. When you can drive in a run with a broken bat ground ball about, I don't know, what was that, about 75 feet?
Chipper Jones with an error. 5 errors by the Braves the last 2 days.
He just took his eye off of it a little bit at the very tail end of the play. When you're going to play that shallow at third base to protect against a possible bunt for a base hit, you really have to be ready when the ball is hit your direction. A high chopper that time. Chipper just took his eye off the ball.
Talk about manufacturing a run. When Campana reached on the air by UGGLA, he stole second, got the third on a balk, scored on the ground out. Now the inning continuing as Chipper Jones commits an error, allowing Castro to reach. And when you've got a sinker baller on the mound, your defense has to be good behind him. There will be a lot of defensive chances.
As an infielder, you know that going in. You know what your pitcher's strength is. Certainly all these guys have played behind Derek Lowe all year this year and some in the past. They know that when Derek Lowe's on the mound, you're going to get a lot of action.
Castro takes off. He's safe.
Kind of a disjointed throw from Brian McCann, really sitting back on his haunches as he receives that pitch, and it takes him a while to get up into a throwing position and ultimately makes a high throw to second base, allowing Castro to slide in underneath. Now in scoring position with 2 outs.
Darwin Barney base hit center field. Castro coming around third. He's going to be held by Ivan De Jesus. That'll bring up Ramirez.
Michael Bourne is known more for his base stealing and his speed on the field than his throwing arm, but he's always been very accurate, a very quick release. That throw right on line to home plate, and with the hottest hitter on the planet in the on deck circle, Ivan De Jesus did not want to take any chances.
And the pitching coach Roger McDowell is out to talk it over with Lowe and McCann. 31 pitches alone here in the second inning. Derek Lowe.
I think anybody other than Aramis Ramirez at the plate right now, you might see Darwin Barney try to steal a base as well. Getting some good jumps off of Derek Lowe, and Brian McCann is being very deliberate with his throws to second base. But not with Rami at the plate. At least not until he gets into a 2-strike count.
They talk about hitting streaks. Dan UGGLA got to 33 this year. Ramirez right now at 12. I think one reason why guys have trouble getting it really beyond where UGGLA was is teams start working around you. You don't have a lot of chances to pick up a hit. You come up to the plate 4 or 5 times and they do what they've done to Ramirez tonight. You may only have 2 or 3 good pitches to try to continue a hitting streak.
That's a great point.
Ball 4.
But this is when it becomes vitally important that the guy behind Ramirez, in the case of tonight's ball game, Carlos Pena, do some damage. It's real clear that Derek Lowe is just not going to give Aramis Ramirez anything to hit tonight. Make him pay.
Big overshift yet again. Chipper Jones, the only infielder on the left side of the infield. He might keep throwing him that changeup until he proves he can hit it. AT&T U-verse multi-view. 4 pitches to Carlos Pena, and he swung and missed at all 4, and he hasn't seen a fastball yet. Lowe really working up a sweat on this hot and humid night.
Every pitch so far. Straight changeup. Although there's nothing straight about it. It has as much downward movement as his hard sinker, but every pitch to Carlos Pena so far tonight has been a changeup. One thing, any hit to the outfield should score 2 easily. Because of the exaggerated shift, Darwin Barney is able to get a big lead off of second base, and the Braves defenders in the outfield are playing extremely deep.
Chopper to first, and Freeman will take it by himself. The Cubs do get 3. Soriano with a 2-run homer to put them on the board. They would add an unearned run a little later and lead 3-0. just $1.89, but you don't have to remember it to love it. Prices and participation may vary. For a limited time, a la carte only. And what a nice treat. Commissioner Bud Selig stopping by our broadcast booth here at Wrigley Field. And as we start the inning, I should point out, time was called. Giovanni Soto stepped out. I think he was waiting for STARLIN Castro to get to his position, Bob. This is something that's been top of mind here.
Well, and that's Giovanni Soto's job. The last thing you do as a catcher before you call that pitch is to make sure that your other defenders are where they're supposed to be and facing home plate.
Well, I understand there was a little controversy about that.
A little bit. But as you know, Commissioner Selig, if it happens on the field, we'll find it.
You bet.
And I think the
and
players,
by the way,
and they understand that.
They do understand it. And by the way, you guys will find it if it's off the field, too, as I well know. So it's all right. I understand.
So here you go. Now, Wells is ready. But Gio sees Castro and asks for time.
Doing a little manicuring over there on the left side of the infield. Must have been a divot from one of the base runners or a previous ground ball, and he wanted to fix it before the inning started.
What a beautiful night here.
Really is. 2-1 to Hayward, and he hits a high fly to right, and Colvin trying to find it. It's dusk here, and it's going to be Darwin Barney to make the catch. Well, you stop by, we've had all kinds of crazy stuff happen here.
Certainly, there's no question about it. Well, I'll take responsibility for some things, but not those.
So we're getting near pennant race time here, and this is an exciting time of the year, isn't it?
It really is great. Yeah. And, you know, I said to the writers before that we really do have more competitive balance than we've ever had. I mean, there's no question about it. We have some races I'm a little nervous about, seem to be breaking apart a little bit, but for the most part, we're really this is the last 5 weeks of the season going to be very interesting.
What can you say about a potential extra wild card in each league moving forward?
We've got work to do on it yet. There's a lot of detail to be worked out, but I certainly like it. I do, and I've made no bones about it. I find interesting when we put it in '93. You will both remember that I took a significant amount of criticism of being kind. It was more unpleasant than that. Now everybody wants 2 more, so I guess it's worked out all right. And I think that really will work out well. We've done a lot of study of it, and I think it will work out. And we're moving there, but there's much to be worked out, John.
I imagine part of that process is figuring out how to avoid the playoffs ending in Christmas time.
Well, you're right. You know, Bob and Len, we're going to end the season, I think, on Wednesday, September 28th this year, which I really like. Started earlier. I worried about that, and the weather was better in early April than it was in late April, but that's another story. And we've condensed the playoff schedule, so the World Series starts October 19th this year, and so I feel good. And no matter what we do in the future, that's what I want to happen. Yeah, I dread playing baseball in November.
I like what you've done with the playoff schedule. You've gotten rid of a couple of off days. Essentially, the off days are travel days. That's it.
You bet. That's it. And there's some travel dates you have to leave in there, especially you're having a West Coast team play an East Coast team.
Do you envision realignment that would make up 15 and 15 at some point?
Something we're working on. That's got a lot of complications, but the only thing I can say is I'm a believer in realignment. I think realignment has some really great virtues. There's all types of realignment. That's what we're thinking about now. But 15, for instance, amongst the things I'd like to correct in this division, why should there be 6 teams in one division and 4 and 5 in all the other divisions? And the 6 teams do grumble about it, and they're right. So we have a lot of reasons for doing it.
Taco Bell, open 1 a.m. or later.
The Menards grounds crew manicuring the infield dirt as always after the third inning. Randy Wells has not allowed a base runner through 3 as he works with a 3-0 lead. Thanks again to Commissioner Bud Selig for stopping by. That caught the outside edge. 1-1 the count on Michael Bourne. So Wells has not even had to work from the stretch at this point. Bourne lays down a bunt. And Ramirez bare hands and throws him out. Time now for our AT&T trivia. Keeping the 3-city Braves theme going. Name the Hall of Famer to hit a home run for the Braves in all 3 cities they have called home.
Eddie Matthews.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Yep.
That's the first name that popped into my head.
Because Hank Aaron started in Milwaukee. Making 54. That's a good guess.
Well, it's a guess. It's to be determined if it was a good guess.
I'm putting my money on you. 1-1 to Prado. Inside to make it 2-1. Works from behind. He was 3-1 on Prado in the opening inning, and Prado ended up fouling out to first base. Bounced up the middle. Barney will throw late. Going to be a hit for Prado, so it snaps Wells' streak of 10 in a row sent down to start the game.
It's been a pretty good stretch for Randy Wells. He retired 11 of his last 13 against the Cardinals, and then 10 in a row to start the game today. Probably wishes he would have made a better defensive effort right there. That ball wasn't really hit that hard. Randy just kind of ducked underneath, putting it on Darwin Barney, who gave it a valiant effort but couldn't get it across the diamond quickly enough.
So Wells now from the stretch for the first time.
See, after that delivery, that dirt splashed up out in front of home plate. I don't think Randy realized it wasn't hit that hard. What a nice effort by Darwin Barney, just a little late.
Notice it's starting to cool off ever so slightly. The wind shifting just a little bit. Still blowing left to right, but maybe a little bit in from left. We're told by all the weather experts who use their iPhones down near the dugout that hey, it is going to cool off later. And they were right. Shallow left. Castro has it. And honestly, with guys like Dan UGGLA in their lineup, you don't mind this kind of wind right now. The way he's been hitting the ball out of the ballpark. He made a funny comment the other night. He said, I need to hit it over the fence or Darwin Barney will get me out. Barney's made a couple of really nice plays to rob UGGLA of would-be hits over the last couple of weeks. Andrew Kashner on the comeback trail, pitching with AA Tennessee last night, 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 3 hits. He retired the first 2 he faced, then allowed 3 consecutive hits. He actually took the loss as he was charged with 2 runs. Made just 23 pitches. He hit 99 on the gun on his very first pitch. He is not going to, it sounds like, pitch on every 5th day because the plan is for him to come back and pitch out of the bullpen. He'll get a lot of 1-inning stints before he returns. Hopefully not too far down the road. Two and two.
Good purpose pitch there from Randy Wells. Just runs a fastball up and into Dan UGGLA. UGGLA's a guy that can really cover a lot of the plate and the area off of the outside corner of the plate. In that respect, he's a lot like Ramirez. Try to hit that outside corner, and that's a ball that he can still get the barrel on.
Freeman on deck. PRADO will move with this 3-2 pitch because there are 2 outs. There he goes. Here it is. Ball 4. A new season, a new look. Join Vineline, the official magazine of the Chicago Cubs, in celebrating its 25th anniversary here in 2011. Get the backstage pass to how the Cubs live and play on the field as well as off. Subscriptions start at just $29.95. For more information and to order, visit Cubs.com/Vineline. Tying run at the plate as Freddie Freeman takes a strike. PRADO singled with 1 out. UGGLA walked with 2 down. And he's starting to nibble a little bit with runners on base in the middle of the Braves order. Cut there by Freeman, 2-2. We mentioned the home run ball has been a problem for Randy Wells really all season long.
And just comparatively, he's given up twice as many as Derek Lowe in half as many innings.
Swing and a miss. Changed him up. Braves leave a couple. And the Cubs lead 3-0. Which Hall of Famers the only player, that's actually last night's. They hit a homer for the Braves in all three cities they called home. Eddie Matthews, Boston, Milwaukee, Atlanta. Nice job, partner.
You know, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn now and then.
Most of them with Milwaukee, but 52 and 66 in Boston and Atlanta, respectively.
You know, Len, we were talking the other day about Ernie Banks and Willie Mays and Johnny Bench, some of the guys that had really big hands. Eddie Matthews, another guy you can put on that list. He had some huge paws.
Standing third baseman as Soto swings and misses for out number one. No, a newborn Cubs fan. The Newborn Fan Club is the perfect gift to showcase what it means to be a Cub for life. Get a customized photo announcing the birth on the Wrigley Field marquee, a Cubs birth certificate, Cubs baby stocking cap, and Cubs Rookie of the Year onesie. It's perfect for parents and friends alike. Go to Cubs.com for more info and to sign up today. Hey, Bob, I want to thank a group of people from Intercon Solutions, Intercon Recycling. The CEO Brian Brundage at a recent event for Bright Pink, which helps women at risk of breast and ovarian cancer, bid on an auction item, lunch with me.
All right.
And he sent a wonderful group from Intercon to have lunch with me today. Victor Bunkowski, Jory Pascarella, Brian Finnerty, and Jamie Sykes. We had a wonderful time. And I want to thank them.
What'd you get in your Happy Meal?
Yeah, right. It was a good time and for a good cause. It was such a big deal. Jory, who drove, she actually got sideswiped by a semi on the way there. And still made it just a few minutes late. And people are getting into car accidents to have lunch with you. That's flattering. 2-out single for Starlin Castro.
Well, the next auction item can be you buffing out the dent in her car and repainting it. Starlin with a bullet back up the middle of the field. He had a rough night last night. Looked like he was jumping at a lot of pitches, maybe trying to do a little bit too much after the one-day benching, but great approach that time by the youngster.
Also want to send out happy 89th birthday wishes. Longtime Cub fan Virginia Phillips. Castro on his way to second. Good throw, but he beat it. Cubs are 3 for 3 tonight. Castro has 2 of them. Tony Campana with the other.
Good jump. Better throw and release this time by Brian McCann, but Starlin Castro with enough of a jump and enough speed just once again to outrun the throw to second base. Much better footwork that time. Much more accurate with the throw, to no avail.
Think of Derek Lowe as a starter, but for a time he was a closer. Which makes you think about a guy like Ryan Dempster or John Smoltz, Dennis Eckersley, guys who've done both. and had success. And how about this? Lowe and Smoltz are the only pitchers to lead their league in both wins and saves. Lowe with the saves of 2,042 of them with Boston. He led the American League. Popped up. Dan UGGLA will make the catch, and that's the inning. Cubs strand a man at second. They lead the Braves 3-0.
If you're the 500th texter, you could win $5 footlong subs from Subway.
Chipper Jones will lead off for Atlanta here in the fifth. He swings and taps one for Randy Wells. That'll go 1-3. One pitch, one out. Chipper Jones, by the way, recently said he does plan on playing next year. Will turn 40 next April 24th.
And why not? I think Chipper's still got a lot of gas left in the tank. Freddie may have to be a little more careful in giving him scheduled days off to make sure he stays healthy and can do what the Braves expect him to do. But he may have lost a step on the bases. He may have lost a little bit of range defensively, but man, can he swing that bat.
Hayward with a second consecutive start, with Jose Constanza dealing with the ankle injury. Hayward early on in his career has four RBI games. 3 of them have been against the Cubs, including 2 in this ballpark. He knocked in 4 on one swing last night, a grand slam, the first of his career.
Here's that grand slam from the ball game last night. The entire inning started with 2 outs on an infield hit. And ended with Jason Hayward finding the left center field bleachers with that towering fly ball.
It's been a struggle. He's lost a lot of playing time as a result. breaks his bat as he flies to Soriano for out number 2.
The wind really played tricks with that little soft fly ball into shallow left center. It looked like Soriano was camped underneath it about 3 different times. Hayward broke his bat. You saw him calling off Campana once, changed directions a second time, but ultimately gets in the right position to make the play.
The 1-0 to Gonzalez is a strike, 1-1. Detroit and Tampa Bay tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Joe Madden instituting some road type rules at home. I don't know if you saw this. They have played better on the road. He wants his guys to show up later when they're at home. Thinks the show up early mentality can be more about perception, and he worries about guys sitting around all day and getting lazy. Thinks they take too many swings, especially this late in the season. And he said if you get there at 3 instead of 12:30 for a 7 o'clock start, there's still plenty of time to get your work done. Do you agree?
Well, if they start to win ball games, yeah. I think that's very much an individual thing. Some guys like to get to the ballpark early for medical reasons. They like to get their treatment in the training room early. They like to get their early work in, maybe do some video work. Other guys feel very comfortable showing up 15 minutes before batting practice and throwing on the uniform and going out to the field and starting their day then. I think it's really very much an individual thing. But if you as a manager view it as a problem for your ball club, then hey, you've got to take the steps you feel that you need to get the best out of your team.
Well, then you have the idea of, okay, do guys show up early so they can play cards or dominoes or backgammon? You know what? When the Braves were winning the East year after year after year after year, Chipper Jones and John Smoltz, all they did is play backgammon before batting practice. Didn't seem to bother them.
Nope.
So you're right. It's not so simple just to say you can't do this, you can't do that. Helps some guys bond, helps them relax.
I think the Braves at one point actually had a putting green in their clubhouse when Glavine and Smoltz and Maddox were there, and all tremendous golfers, and sharpened up their putting skills in their downtime at the ballpark.
Out into left center, Soriano will make the catch on the move to end the inning. 5 innings for Wells. 4 times he's gone 1, 2, 3. twice already here in this game. Will face Derek Lowe leading off the bottom of the 5th. Ball 1 on a slider. I watched Aramis take BP tonight. You know what? It was just okay. There was nothing in particular that during BP would tell you that he is as locked in as he is.
Maybe that in and of itself is an indication of how locked in he is. Sometimes when guys are struggling, they put so much emphasis on their pregame batting practice, trying to iron out any problems that they've been having lately, that they're exhausted and mind weary by the time the game starts.
He is 27 for his last 48. Whew. For a .563 average. Down the line, foul.
A good miss that time by Derek Lowe. Brian McCann wanted that pitch off the outside corner, down low and away. It was a sinker that tailed back in on the hands of Ramirez. Jammed him enough to have him foul it down that right field line.
Chopped slowly to Chipper Jones. That'll be another hit for Ramirez. A 13-game hitting streak.
Well, in the 2-strike count, Chipper Jones had backed way up defensively at third base. Had a long way to go just to get to this ball, but his fans on it. He comes in and tries to make the barehanded play. Never did make contact with the baseball.
All right, with the 2 walks and a single tonight, he has now reached base in 30 of his last 44 plate appearances. It's got to be about 70%. One strike to Pena, who's 0 for 2 tonight.
Probably the furthest thing from Carlos Pena's mind right now, with that wind blowing straight out to right field. But this is one of those situations where a bunt to the left side would put 2 men on with nobody out for Tyler Colvin. I mean, we've seen Pena do it a number of times this year against this exaggerated shift, but I don't think it's something he likes to do. He wants to swing the bat. He wants to drive in runs, get the ball in the air when the wind's blowing out to right field. If you think about the bigger picture, take what the opposing team is going to give you. That bunt to the left side would have worked perfectly in this situation, put 2 men on.
Pena with a line shot. Hayward playing pretty deep. That made it an easy play. Watch Comcast Sportsnet game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Tyler Colvin, a walk and a run and a ground out. Line, and that'll be an easy double play right at Freddie Freeman. We head off to the 6th. Cubs 3, Braves nothing. Derek Lowe leading off the Atlanta 6th. Andy Wells has been very good tonight. Well, Bobby, very sad news to report. Former Cy Young Award winner, 18-year veteran, and an executive and broadcaster with the Baltimore Orioles, Mike Flanagan, reportedly has been found dead on his property in Baltimore County, and that is devastating news. Just 59 years old, and you were a teammate of Mike's.
Yeah, he was a tremendous teammate. We played briefly together up in Toronto, and boy, without a doubt, one of the funniest men I've ever met in my life. Also, one of the most competitive men I've ever met in my life. That is truly bad news.
Won the Cy Young in 1979, won 23 games for the Orioles. As Lowe takes a leadoff walk, that's not how you want to start an inning, by walking the pitcher. It's a second free pass given up by Randy Wells. We've talked about Mike Flanagan. Didn't you tell me he's the funniest teammate you ever had?
Without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, every day you couldn't wait to get to the ballpark. We were talking about going to the ballpark too early. With the Blue Jays, you couldn't wait to get to the ballpark every day to see what was going to happen next, the pranks that were going to be played, and Mike Flanagan was always right in the middle of it.
Cornerman in against Michael Bourne. Pitch in the dirt. And another one low. 2-1. This is where managers and pitching coaches start to think about bullpen activity, not only the 6th inning, and the pitch count not bad, but this is the 3rd time through the order.
And we're starting to see some signs. Randy Wells has been very good around the edges of the strike zone. Even when he's found himself in a hitter's count where he has to throw a strike, he's been able to put it on the corners or at the knees, and seemingly has lost his command here in the 6th inning.
It's been a tough series for Gio. Took several shots off his right leg last night, and he might have cut his lip. One of that mask banging into his face. The 3-1 to Bourne, now 3-2. Foul past Terry Pendleton at first. Former hitting coach of the Braves, now at first base. '91 National League MVP.
And I would have to believe, even though he's no longer the hitting coach with the Braves, he's been a huge help to Chipper Jones. Terry Pendleton, a very good switch hitter in his own right during his playing days, and being the switch hitter presents its own special challenges. Obviously, you hope to be good from both sides at the plate all the time, but
well, Barney kind of snow coned that bouncer and was able to get Michael Bourne. It was in his glove, at least most of the ball was.
Thoughts about wheeling and throwing to second base, and they might have had a play on Derek Lowe at second base, but when in doubt, make sure you get an out. Darwin tosses on to Carlos Pena just in time to get Michael Bourne. Just to finish that thought about switch hitters, Len, I spent a lot of time talking to Willie McGee when he was a member of the San Francisco Giants, and he said the times during a season where he felt like he was locked in from both sides of the plate were rare. You know, for a week or two at a time, he would feel great from the left side of the plate, not so good from the right side, and then it would turn around and all of a sudden the right side would be his stronger side. But he said rarely did he feel like he was locked in from both sides of the plate. Although you'd never believe it looking at Willie McGee's stats. He seemed like he was always locked in to me.
The second time the Braves have put a man in scoring position, and it is the pitcher Lowe, so that does not guarantee that he'll score on a single here as Wells continues to work from behind in the count. It's a foul ball. 2-2. Braves with just one hit. That was PRADO with a single back in the 4th inning.
And then you were talking about a tough time of the ball game for a manager and a pitching coach when your starter has been dealing the way Randy Wells has tonight, but walks the pitcher to lead off an inning, falls behind Michael Bourne before retiring him, and falls behind the number 2 hitter Martin PRADO. And more than anything else, you have to see where is he missing. Early in the game, Randy was rarely above the kneecaps. Everything was down, down, down. He's starting to miss up in the zone a little bit.
Tyler Colvin will make the catch, and Derek Lowe will tag and end up at third. And Decatur, Illinois native Brian Snitker greets him. His third base coach, like Mike Quaddy and Randy Bush, an alum of the University of New Orleans. And he actually took over for Fredi Gonzalez after Fredi was hired to manage the Marlins after the 2006 season. As we come full circle. Good baseball man, Brian Snitker. Can way out in front and yanked it foul. Changed him up 1-2. It's been the pitch du jour tonight for both starters.
Boy, for Randy Wells, especially against the left-handed hitters in this Braves lineup. I really think that subconsciously, if you're a left-handed hitter and see that wind blowing out to right field at Wrigley, you're wanting to jump out in front of something and hook it to right field. That's when you become really susceptible to that straight changeup.
Another one there, fouled off. Short left, and Soriano will get there to end the inning. So the Braves strand their first runner to reach third here tonight. Still 3-0 Cubs. Fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights, and $1 Vienna beef hot dog Wednesdays. Tuesday night special also available in select locations in the Seating Bowl. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Alfonso Soriano with a go-ahead 2-run homer to straightaway center in the second inning. A low average under 230 and a bunch of at-bats against Derek Lowe, but he has now connected off him 4 times. Quickly 2-0. Sean Marshall's up. Three and one.
With Randy Wells' spot due up fourth in this inning, if Mike Quade has a chance to add some runs, I believe he'll take Randy Wells down for a pinch hitter. The Cubs bullpen has been lights out lately.
Harry Pressey playing walk the line after that free pass to Soriano. Outside to Campana. Red Sox pounding the Rangers in Texas 11-1. They've scored in 6 of the first 7 innings. Boston starting play today tied with the Yankees atop the American League East. And the wild card as well. Yankees are tied at home with Oakland. They got a run in the bottom of the 8th. There's Scott Linebrink, veteran righty. Yankees tied it in the 8th. After Oakland took a short-lived lead. 3-3 in the 9th. Jose Bautista with his 37th home run, and the Blue Jays lead the Royals 4-3 in the 9th. Soriano takes off a hit and run, and Campana hits it foul.
A good idea right there. Get Soriano on the move at first base. Hopefully open a hole in the infield for Tony Campana. Unfortunately, that time fouled it straight back.
Chris Stewart, Jared Weaver, brother Zach Stewart, Jared Weaver, tonight in Anaheim. White Sox and the Angels. UGGLA will throw, and he just got Campana. Congrats to Paul Konerko, got his 2000th hit last night.
A little topper to the right side of the infield serves the purpose of a sacrifice bunt, moving Soriano into scoring position. And once again, Dan UGGLA had to do everything perfectly to just nip Tony Campana at first base by a half a step.
Jared Weaver, fresh off signing a 5-year extension worth $85 million. Sounds like he could have gotten more.
I'm sure he could have. I'm sure his agent feels like he could have gotten him more, but hey.
Scott Boras always feels that way.
Yeah. He likes it where he's at. He feels like the Angels organization has been good to him. He's certainly been good for them.
Lowe wanted it. Did not get the call from DJ Rayburn. It's a swing and a miss for strike 3. It's been a rough night for Soto. He struck out all 3 times. 27th annual Cubs convention takes place at the Hilton Chicago, January 13th, 14th, and 15th, 2012. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes go on sale in early November. For more info, visit Cubs.com. Randy Wells taking the at bat with 2 outs. Knocked in a run with a ground out back in the 2nd inning. It made it 3-0. Three bounces. It's Gonzalez to Freeman, and that's the inning. Leadoff walk wasted. 3-zip Cubs after 6.
Speed action. Tony Campana tonight has done what he does best. Reached on an error when Dan Uggla bobbled the ball, had no play at first base. Promptly steals second on the next pitch. Derek Lowe boxed him to third base as Randy Wells was attempting to put down a sacrifice bunt, and then on a broken bat jam shot ground ball to the right side, he's able to score on his belly. That is a manufactured run. I guess they're all manufactured, but that one was fun to watch.
So Wells back out to face Dan Uggla. Our good friend and former TV voice of the Cubs, Chip Carey, will conduct the 7th inning stretch coming up. I think he remembers the words.
Oh, yeah.
Fastball misses away for ball 1. 1-1 on the way is inside. Cubs trying to get a split in this series after losing the first two. They have to win tonight and tomorrow to do that, and to have a winning homestand.
Boy, that's something we haven't seen much of from Dan Uggla this season when the Cubs have matched up against the Braves, taking a hittable fastball. That one was right down the middle of the plate.
Three-two changeup. Have some big-time musicians kind of trying to blend in. Susan Tedeschi and Derek Trucks. Derek Trucks, a Grammy-winning guitarist, songwriter, and producer. He's been a member of the Allman Brothers, of course, a Derek Trucks band, and his wife Susan has been nominated for multiple Grammys as well. Freddie Freeman, a towering fly ball, deep right, and caught by Colvin. Right on the warning track, up against the wall.
Not sure how that one stayed in the ballpark, but I'm glad it did. Tyler Colvin never gave up on it. Tracks it all the way back into the vines to make the catch. Oh, when that ball came off the bat of Freddie Freeman, I thought that was headed for Sheffield Avenue, but Colvin able to make it a very routine play on the track.
The 1-0 to Chipper Jones. Deep center this time. And it's not going to come back. That makes it 3-1. Chipper Jones has now tied Jeff Bagwell for 34th on the all-time home run list. Number 449. Third on the all-time Braves list. That'll be it for Wells.
Our Corona extra pitch tracks, one of the rare mistakes that Randy has made right in the middle of the plate. That changeup just kind of hung there for Chipper Jones, and he knows what to do with a mistake pitch.
Did a nice hand here. One of his better outings of the season. The Verizon call to the pen. Here comes Sean Marshall. And it's busy left-hander Sean Marshall.
It's the final 2 innings of the ball game last night. Surrendered a leadoff hit in both innings, but managed to pitch around him in the 8th inning with a double play to get out of the jam, and in the 9th inning a strikeout, a fielder's choice, and a fly ball to center field.
Looking for his 28th hold of the season as he faces Jason Hayward in the 1-0 pitch. 1-1. Kerry Wood has been dominating lately. He has struck out 19 batters over his last 8 2/3 here in August. Two. Two bouncer handled by Darwin Barney. And it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Here comes Chip Caray.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ballgame, former Cubs broadcaster Chip Caray.
All right, let me hear you. You know the drill. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, let's root for the Bravos. If they don't win, it's a shame for it. At the old ball game. Great to be back. We love you, Ron Santo. We miss you dearly.
Swing and a miss by Starlin Castro on a Derek Lowe slider as we're underway here in the bottom of the 7th. Great job by Harry's grandson Chip Caray, former voice of the Cubs, now with the Atlanta Braves. I noticed he borrowed your glasses. Did he give them back?
Yeah, I can see again.
Castro flies out to Jason Hayward, 1 away. Bring up Darwin Barney. Hey, the Ryder Cup is coming to Chicago September 25th through the 30th, 2012 at Medina. Be included in a random draw to purchase tickets and a chance to see Team USA versus Team Europe. Go to RyderCup.com. Chip, by the way, wanted to stay, but he's doing play-by-play over on Braves TV, so precluded him from chatting with us. But we get to talk to Chip a lot off the air. I know it's always fun for him to be back here in Chicago.
We've got a little bit of an overcrowded booth there next door with Tom Glavine and Joe Simpson working as analysts. Chip has to sit in the upper deck. That's not the normal alignment for a broadcast setup. Play-by-play guy sitting behind your two analysts.
And Barney went. 6 Ks for Lowe. Two walks and a single. And ball one.
Well, you know, we showed you that manufactured run by Tony Campana back in the second inning. That may loom large in this game. Derek Lowe has really settled in since that second inning. And we know the Braves have a locked and loaded bullpen. We've seen more than enough of that in this series.
Gonzalez gets Ramirez. So Lowe technically outlasted Randy Wells, but he's trailing 3-1.
Insiders look at more than 97 years of history in this legendary ballpark. Guided tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Tour sizes are limited and sell out fast, so get your tickets today.
Here's Kerry Wood facing Alex Gonzalez. By the way, for Derek Lowe, who will be taken down for a pinch hitter, Brooks Conrad is on deck. Tonight's the first time he's completed 7 innings since May 17th against Houston. We talked about the short outings. It's only the 3rd time in 28 starts he's gone 7 innings this season. Had the one long inning. That was the second. Gave up 3. 1 was unearned. And could be the decisive inning in this game. 3-0 on Gonzalez. It's gotten into Alex Gonzalez getting ahead in the county. Walked Monday, walked Tuesday with the bases loaded, and he's 3-0 here.
He's just about reached his quota for the season. When you mentioned Kerry Wood dominating the opposition recently, not only striking out a lot of batters, but walking nobody. Hasn't issued a walk in his last 12 outings. Works his way back in the count here, this time to Alex Gonzalez.
By the way, Randy Wells gave up 2 hits in his start tonight. Basically an infield hit to Martin Prado in the 4th, and then the Chipper Jones homer in the 7th. That was it. 2 walks, 2 hits. Another 3-2. Fly ball deep left center. Gone. A home run for Alex Gonzalez. And it's now 3-2. That's his 12th. Two Braves homers over their last 3 hitters, and they're right back in this one.
Not a horrible pitch, outer third of the plate and down a little bit, but Gonzalez catches it off the meat of the bat, gets tremendous carry just to the left of straightaway center. Well, the Braves within a run.
Here's the pinch hitter, Brooks Conrad. Third career homer for Alex Gonzalez at Wrigley, 6th overall against the Cubs. Conrad bounces to Pena, who will beat him to first. The Daily Double Burger is back for a limited time at participating McDonald's for $1.89.
When talking about how good Kerry Wood has been recently, it looks a little different tonight. He may still be as effective ultimately, but the ball's not coming out of his hand quite as easily with the same kind of movement towards the edges of the strike zone as we've seen in his last 10 or 12 outings.
That was an awkward swing on a cutter. 1-2. Scott Linebrink up yet again, and Johnny Venters, the left-hander. I bet it's Linebrink if it stays 3-2, and Venters if the Braves tie it or take the lead.
I think that's a good call.
Got it. On the curveball, 2 outs.
Track says it may have been a little bit off that outside corner, but Michael Bourne, with no argument, just turns and heads back to that first base dugout.
We don't need replay for balls and strikes.
Not on that one. Next half inning we may need it.
How about we only have a computer call balls and strikes when you say they should?
There you go. You know, I complain a lot about the umpires, especially the strike zone this season, but no, I know for a fact, and you know, having Bud Selig here in the booth, and when he explains some of the processes, the things you go through in order to make changes to the game of baseball, it's not just as easy as saying, okay, yeah, we're going to use an automated strike zone. Well, there's a lot of other issues that go along with that, and as knee-jerk as I am, and as much as I'd like to see a more consistent strike zone called, I know it's going to be a long time before anything like that is implemented in Major League Baseball. Even though we have the technology.
I recall you've said that a few times. 3-1 to PRADO. Here it is. 3-2. And ball 4 to bring up Brian McCann.
From our Corona extra pitch tracks, Woody just tried to overpower that fastball, drives it down below the bottom of the strike zone for ball 4 to Martin PRADO.
This is his inning. There is no action in the Cubs bullpen. The way the season started with Marshall and Wood kind of interchangeable in the 7th and the 8th. For much of this year, it was Wood in the 7th, Marshall in the 8th. But lately, as Kerry Wood has thrived, it's changed a little bit depending on those matchups. And on his hands, and he bounces weakly to Darwin Barney, and that's the inning. So Gonzalez with a leadoff home run makes it a 1-run game. 3-2. In the middle of the 8th. Right-handers on. Recently on the DL with a lower back strain. And when he came off the shelf, he struggled against the Cubs, didn't get it out, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs on August 14th. Gave up 2 more runs 3 days later against the Giants, but then a scoreless inning 4 days ago versus Arizona.
Sinker, splitter, change up. He'll throw an occasional slider to the right-handed hitters.
Bunted by Carlos Pena against the shift. Base hit. We all wondered in spring training how often he would try that during the regular season with the shift on. He's done it a fair amount,
including maybe as many as a half a dozen times with 2 strikes.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's almost a gimme base hit when you're leading off an inning in a close ball game late. It seems to make a lot of sense. Get on base, set the inning up for the guys hitting behind you.
Now I'm just thinking ahead. We do head to Milwaukee for the weekend. Do you fast for 24 to 36 hours before killing 6 brats over the weekend in Milwaukee?
You know, I don't think I've ever exceeded 4 in a 9-inning game, so I'm going to try to top my record. Maybe Friday night. Get it out of the way early. And to answer your question, of course I don't fast. I never fast. If anything, I slow.
The only thing you do fast is eat pizza.
Yeah, that's true.
Colvin powders that one to center. Bourne will make the grab on the warning track. Pena had reached second base, but plenty of time for him to get back.
Boy, it looked good coming off the bat for Tyler Colvin. Stays on a sinker on that outer third of the plate and drives it toward the gap in left center. But Michael Bourne, with that tremendous speed, able to run it down right in front of the vines.
Pitch to Soriano, and he turned right into it.
Yep. Well, they're saying he swung at that pitch.
No,
he was asking the first base umpire. That was what DJ Rayburn was doing, requesting whether that was a swing or not. And when the first base umpire Marty Foster said no swing, Soriano's awarded first base on the hit by pitch. Wow. Caught that between his right arm and his rib cage.
Tony Campana 2 on 1 out as the Cubs try to tack on. UGGLA, Freeman, and Jones due up in the ninth against Carlos Marmol.
A lot of talk between Chipper Jones and Alex Gonzalez on that left side of the infield for the Braves. Chipper is playing so shallow that when he turns up to square up to home plate as the pitch is delivered, he cannot see Carlos Pena out of his peripheral vision. And it's all created because Tony Campana has the kind of speed he does. He's always a threat to bunt for a base hit. Just creates some uneasiness on the part of the defense. Well, we know it's not his game, but if he would happen to pull a ball down into that right field corner, Soriano better get on his horse, because Tony will run right up his back. Braves are playing Campana way around to the opposite field, especially PRADO in left, who has been playing extremely deep throughout this series against everybody, but very shallow and cheating toward the line in left. Michael Bourne over into the gap in left center. Jason Hayward has a lot of room to cover out there in right field.
The 3-1. That loads him up. So a single, a hit batter, and a walk to load the bases. How about a little salvage here for Gio? He has struck out 3 times in 3 at-bats.
2 previous at-bats in his career against Scott Linebrink. One of those resulted in a home run.
Inside on a fastball. Still looking for that first career granny.
You mean he's never hit a grand slam?
Never once.
Really?
Linebrink ready for a 1-2 offering. Lined and a double play. Second one. Owen back in the 5th on a line out to first. That's bad luck. Smile from Chipper as he gets a high five from Scott Linebrink. We go to the 9th. 3-2 Cubs. Down the game and preview the Cubs' next matchup. Don't miss Coors Light Cubs postgame live immediately following the contest, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Campana goes from center to left to accommodate Marlon Byrd's entrance into the game, and with him comes Carlos Marmol, trying to get his 30th. He would be the second Cubs closer to have back-to-back 30-save seasons. He would join Lee Smith, who had 4 in a row back in the mid-'80s.
Occasionally you can get an easy save. None of them are cheap, but occasionally you can get an easy save facing the bottom of the opposing team's lineup. But he's going to have to earn this one. Dan UGGLA, Freddie Freeman, and Chipper Jones here in the 9th for the Braves.
Yeah, you might want to wear your seatbelt for this one. A knee buckling slider for a strike. Sir, do you realize you have a chicken on your head?
Reminds me of a joke. I was talking to the duck.
1-1. Become just the 4th Cub to have 2 30-save seasons at all. That hit him. A good way to start the inning.
UGGLA had been 0 for 6 with a couple of strikeouts against Marble before this hit by pitch on a slider that just never took the break. Got him on the back of the left triceps and ripped the cover off the ball.
That is a textbook way to get hit by a pitch. You turn away, but you really don't move.
Yeah. You give the illusion that you're getting out of the way of the pitch when actually he held his ground the entire time.
Both Johnny Venters and the closer Craig Kimbrell are up. Neither has allowed a run since 1997. They were both in high school. No, it's been a while for both. Actually, 1997, they both would have been in grade school. 2-1.
Still didn't give up any runs.
He's run it full, 3-2. Swing and a miss for out number 1. A big one for Marmol. Got him on a slider.
Especially big because it came on ball 4 according to our Corona extra pitch tracks. That slider once again just stayed off of that outside corner, but Freddie Freeman saw the rotation on the pitch, expected it to come back to the corner, and took a very awkward swing trying to protect the plate.
Chipper Jones homered off Randy Wells in the 7th. It was his 10th career homer at Wrigley, but as we pointed out at the start of the series, he has hit a measly .218 in this ballpark. Barney will throw to second. They will get one. That's a key out. Keeps that tying run out of scoring position. Having said that, I am a little surprised he tried to get that out, but he did.
You know, Darwin Barney has a real good stopwatch in his head. He saw Dan UGGLA run past. He knew how much further he had to go to get to the bag at second base. Put a little extra on that throw to Starlin Castro just in time to get that force out.
And we have a pinch runner now for Chipper. It's Jose Constanza, so obviously his ankle is well enough to allow him to run. As Mike Quaddy will chat with the entire infield, talk strategy against Jason Hayward. The question is, does Freddie Gonzalez have enough confidence in Constanza to maybe steal a bag here? Fastball that time outside, 1-1.
Well, Len, you know what a stickler I am for trying to control the running game, but in this particular situation, I think Carlos Marmol should devote all his focus and attention on that guy standing there with a piece of wood in his hand. I mean, you can get overly concerned with a potential base stealer at first base and make a bad pitch to the plate, and bad things can happen.
Big cut and a miss. The 2-2. Foot slider, 3-2. Now Constanza gets a head start. Outfielders are playing no doubles, meaning very deep. Well, we know how hard Hayward can hit the ball. He certainly could find a gap. The 3-2 pitch. We'll do it again. And had a shot at it, tried to barehand it in the front row on the upper deck and dropped it. Another 3-2. Called strike three. Cubs win. Cubs win as Carlos Marmol strikes out a couple here in the ninth after hitting the leadoff man. And they snap their 3-game losing streak. Well, 3 runs in the second, Bob. That's all this Cubs pitching staff would ultimately need.
Yeah, really well pitched game tonight, starting with Randy Wells, by far his best outing of the year, his best stuff of the year. And Carlos Marmol closing it out with a backdoor slider to a dangerous Jason Hayward.
Down to the field, Gail Fisher standing by with Tony Campana.
All right, Len. Tony, nice job for you and this team. Another 1-run game. It seemed like your run in that second inning was really the difference, and you got on with an error. stole second, got to third on a balk. Talk about that whole sequence.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of guy that tries to put the ball in the play, and he bobbled it a little bit, which was able to get me on base, and stole first pitch, and then tried to get in his head a little bit when I was on second, and he balked, and then Randy Wells was ever to put it in play and get me in there, so it was nice. Obviously, your speed is quite the threat to the opposing pitcher. Can you kind of tell when he's getting nervous? You could see it in that 8th inning when you took the walk. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he gets on and he starts doing some weird things, and you just try to get in his head, and then maybe he'll leave a fastball out over the middle of the plate, and we were able to get me in. I know that you're in the outfield, but as far as Randy Wells' night tonight, was this the best you've probably seen him all season? Yeah, he was unbelievable. Everything was down in the strike zone, and he didn't make many mistakes today, and it showed. I mean, he was just mowing them down. All right, Tony Campana, by all accounts, led the game-winning run tonight. Let's send it back upstairs to you.
Gail, thanks very much. As the Cubs are now 3-3 on this homestand with the rubber game of the stay, so to speak, tomorrow afternoon. Our GMC player of the game is the starter and the winner, Randy Wells. Bob, 6 2/3, just 2 hits and 1 run.
Really good for Randy Wells tonight. It's been a rough year for him, but if he can continue to string together some good outings here at the end of the season, feel good about himself going into the off season, hopefully be a big time contributor to this staff next year.
Honorable mention to Alfonso Soriano with a 2-run homer, and Carlos Marmol with his 30th save of the season. So that'll do it for our game coverage. Stay tuned. More to come. Coors Light post-game live is next. Once again, the final score, the Cubs 3, the Braves 2. Our next Cubs CSN telecast Sunday at 1 from Miller Park in Milwaukee. The Cubs and Brewers will close out a 3-game series. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad, and now for Bob and Gail and our entire crew. This is Len Casper sending it over to Pat and Luke in our downtown Chicago CSN studios.